Hello everyone and welcome to the next in our series of Daily Origami for YouTube. Today we're going to continue our theme of making Pokemon items, and we've been looking at this book that features all these little pieces of paper that are pre-printed so that you can create your own little Pokemon origami. And the papers in these are fairly nice in that they do have the full design, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these things just with regular origami paper so that we can make it a little easier. Now, today what we're up to is we're going to make Pikachu, and this is the finished guy here to kind of give you an idea. It's a little big. He uses 3 pieces of paper, one for his head, one for his body, and then one for the tail section that we kind of cut a little bit to make. And the paper in the book here is 18 by 18 centimeters, so I'll be using paper that's 15 by 15 centimeters. It'll be a little bit smaller. And I'll also show you guys, we cut a strip of it to make for his tail too. But it's kind of a fun way to make some Pokemon origami, and it's not too difficult to fold, I think. So I'll go ahead and we'll see what we need to do here to make Pikachu. So we're going to start off by making his head. So I have my piece of paper here for his head. You want to start with your color side facing down, and I'm just going to go ahead and fold my paper in half diagonally so that I can get a nice crease right down the middle here. And then I'm going to open it up and take the outer edges and fold them into the center. Do that for both sides. Then I'm going to take everything and fold it in half. Open it back up again. And then you're going to need some scissors because I want to go ahead and cut right down the middle here. Now, I don't want to cut all the way to the crease that I just made. I want to just stop a little shy of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my scissors and cut straight down here. Maybe leave about a centimeter or so down there. And then you're going to come up at that angle to create his ears. And you can kind of see as you come up here, you want to try to get it so that the ear comes through this point right here, and you can still see a little of this edge on the other side of it. You don't want to necessarily line it up perfectly, which would mean just folding these edges together. We want to come just a little bit away from that to kind of create that better angle for his little ears there. And then you kind of want to mimic the same thing on the other side too. Turn it back over here. And then I'm going to take the bottom part and fold it up a little bit. And we're just going to fold up so that you just get a little of this covered over in the center. You can kind of flip it over and get a feel for the shape of his head there. Then we're going to smooth out a lot here by taking a bunch of this and folding it back. And the nice thing when you do this, if you kind of open it up, you can kind of see, we want to make this edge come right into this little pocket area that we have here behind the ear. So you can kind of see when you do this then that creates a nice little kind of angle for the head. And I'll do the same thing on this side. So again, if you kind of lay it down and open this up, you can bring that edge right into that area there, and it should kind of give you an angle and an idea of how far to fold for that. So you get something like this. Then obviously we need to fix these cheeks because they're kind of sharp and weird. So I'm going to take a little of that and fold it back. You can kind of find what feels good there for that. Get some of that back a little bit. Do that for both sides. And then we can also go ahead and smooth out this bottom part of the cheeks too by folding just a little bit of this back. And you can kind of keep it straight, just creating a nice straight crease there. And that should give you kind of more of that nice little fat rounded quality to his face for your finished little Pikachu. So that's the head that we need. And then I put that to the side, and then you need one more piece of paper for the body. Now when we fold the body over, what we want to do is kind of fold over these two parts by a fifth. And that can be a little tricky. My paper is 15 by 15 centimeters, so I know I need to fold over 3 centimeters about. There's not really such an easy way to do this without needing kind of a ruler to get you along. So you can kind of just keep pulling it over until you get to about what you need here. Looks about like 3. Okay, and I'll turn around and do the other side too here, so we can get both sides folded over. Get that folded over about a fifth of the way for both sides. Now I'm going to fold the top part down, and I want to make it so that you get a feeling that this is just a little bit rectangular up there at the top, not quite square. Get that crease going first. And then I'm going to open up this side and use that crease to help me create a crease that starts right there at the edge, and then I'm going to open this up kind of like an edge and let that crease line up with the edge behind it. Make that new crease really strong. And then when you smush down on this, you should be able to get this nice tiny little bit of a side here. And that's going to help us kind of give his little paws. So you want to make sure you don't get a sharp point here. And if you want this to be a little fatter, you can maybe, fold down even farther a little bit to create more of that. But I'm just going to leave it at that for now. And we'll do this one too. To get that little bit of an edge there for his paws. And then on this bottom part here, I'm just going to fold a little of this up to create an area so I can make his feet. And then I could take this and fold straight down. Try to kind of find where the center is here and kind of fold that first. And then come right into that corner. And then do this side too. Then down here on these tips, I want to kind of make them a little flatter, so I can just fold up a little tiny bit of the triangle. You want to get it as straight as you can there so that it looks better. Now you can either just leave it like that, or you can use that crease to go ahead and open everything up and reverse it inside. It's kind of up to you what you prefer to do. But you want to do the same thing for both sides here, so we can kind of smooth out his feet down here. And then I'm going to take the side a little bit and fold it in. And it's going to come right to where that point where my foot was down here at the bottom. And just come up at a little bit of an angle just to smooth this side out just a little bit. To this side too. Now I'm going to take the top part and fold these sides in. And when I do, I'm going to be creating a crease right down here in the corner. And then you want the crease here to come up about through the center of this. You can kind of find where that is and let this part fold over a little bit. And we'll do the same thing over here too. Those creases. And then I'm going to take this part and fold it out. And you can kind of guess about where you're going to do this. I'm kind of bringing my edge to this edge. It depends on how far you folded everything with these arms too. But we're just going to fold those back up a little to create a little crease. And when you turn them around, you should be able to let them fold into the center here. Like little Pikachu hands there. And that should give you your completed Pikachu body. So you've got your head and your body here to give that little finish. And then we need a tail. So with some quick little math here, since in my book my tail was 18 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters, I just did some quick math knowing that my new edge here is 15. It's about 2 centimeters in width, just to kind of keep things proportioned. So you can go ahead and just fold over your paper to kind of give you the 2 centimeters here. Kind of fold that over first, and then go ahead and give it, cut it off. So you should get a nice little strip that's about like this. And then I'm just going to do some folding here. I'm going to go ahead and start with the white side down. And this is kind of just arbitrary too. You want to just kind of create a nice little zigzag pattern for his tail, of course. I'm going to go ahead and first with my white side here, I'm going to take my paper and pull it behind. And you want to try to create a crease here that makes an edge that's a right angle so that you can see this edge is parallel to the other edge. And then we let that kind of come up a little bit, and I'm going to pull some of this behind. Again, trying to create kind of a parallel crease. And then I'm going to fold this up, kind of creating, again, parallel lines there. And then I could take the top part and fold it out. So always kind of creating right angles and parallel lines, but that's kind of giving me my little bit of tail there that then I can go ahead and glue to the back to kind of serve as the tail for Pikachu. So you've got all of those guys, all those pieces together, and then we just need to put a little bit of glue to put it all together. The head section does rest down a little bit over the arms, so you can go ahead and give a good amount of glue here at the top, and then just go ahead and slide this head part on. And you can have fun with this and kind of play around with the angle of the head if you want to. You can have his head kind of cocked to the side if you prefer. And then the tail, we can put a little bit of glue just on this tab of white here. And then you could kind of find a good spot for the tail. I think it's good when you kind of have this point of his arm just kind of coming through this first section of yellow a little bit. So it comes up kind of close to his head there. And that should give you your completed Pikachu. Now, if you had the book, of course, he'd look something like this with the pretty colors and everything, but you can always change that, draw different things, make your own version here by painting his face on and such. But that should give you your completed Pikachu, which is our finished project for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.